All right. What's going on, guys? We're going to do a brief update in regards to the severe risk this evening. Uncertainty remains and our confidence is low. I want to first start off with the saying that models today and overall for tonight continue to be wishy-washy. All right. So go ahead and dive into a few different scenarios here. But first, the SPC outlook from 4 p.m. did not change. The highest risk still off in the bottom four tiers of counties from Kalamazoo down to Berrien County there. So if you're in the yellow areas, that's going to be where the risk is going to be the most tonight. But around that, a marginal risk, which is your level 1 low risk of severe weather, is up there from Ludington back down through Lansing, back down towards the Adrian area. All right, that has not changed. Your main threats still damaging winds, number 1, followed by large hail for number 2. Hail should be tied more so to the west part of the state, but there are some scenarios we could get some smaller type of hail further to the east. All right. Now, let's dive into models. Now, I'm going to first preface that these models are whack today. All right. So what we're seeing is all sorts of solutions. So number 1, looking at the triple R here, this is what is supposed to happen or what it thinks is going to happen. All right. Line develops off to our west. Kind of thought about that. All right. We kind of thought this is at 9 p.m. tonight. It's going to push our way, it crosses Lake Michigan, and then just arrives as showers. Okay. But as we continue into the evening hours, little pop-up cells start popping up. Don't look too bad on radar, but those pop up and they continue eastward here across the state. Okay. This is probably the best case scenario because for severe weather not to happen, just because this line arrives after sunset. It's not very favorable timing for severe weather here. So if this arrives after sunset and onward, instability, storm fuel on the decline. Okay, that's really good news. But the upper level instability will still support some thunderstorms, likely not severe. So if we look at the what we call most unstable CAPE, which is basically the measure of any point in the atmosphere where the instability is most unstable, we see an increase into the overnight hours here across parts of Michigan where you see these purple colors. That could support thunderstorms overnight. But if we look at our surface instability, we're going to see it lags behind, and after midnight, it's barely even there across Michigan. This is not enough to support severe weather. So overall takeaway from this is I do believe the severe risk is declining. I do still think there is a small risk over to the western side where we see that slight risk, and we'll say just US 131 and west. When that line first arrives, could see some stronger gusts of wind, but I think the overall severe threat is decreasing tonight just because the later arrival, the timing and stuff like that is just not favorable. One more model we're going to look at here, the NAM3. This does show a little bit more aggressive and more so eastward progression. Scenario 2, that line develops to our west, pushes across Michigan, or starts to try to push across Lake Michigan, dies out, but then as that as the energy, so to speak, moves across the lake, this model does have redevelopment here along the lake shore. This is at 2 a.m. Okay. This is probably the least likely solution. I'm not going to rule it out, but this model does not tend to be right very often. But if this were to happen, it's 2 a.m., we see development here across southern part of Michigan, and that tracks across the state and out of the state here by tomorrow morning, 7 or 8 a.m. So takeaway from this, the main squall line we're kind of concerned about to the west is weakening. Not too concerned for that, but we could still see development here. I think that's going to be highly conditional on if we're going to have any amount of surface instability or storm fuel here, as we call it, to work with. So it's going to be highly dependent, but being it's after midnight and such, I don't think it's going to be that much of a concern this evening. But if it is, we'll be here tracking. We're always here watching. We're not going to leave you guys unmonitored here. So we'll be tracking either way. Overall, though, I think it is declining here as we get towards sunset. But again, we can't rule out those storms refiring up, but it's going to be highly dependent on if that storm fuel is there or not. All right. Makes sense? If you guys got questions, feel free to drop those in chat. Have a nice little discussion here. Otherwise, that's all I got to share. Once I'm off here, we're going to work on a Sunday forecast. I keep on saying we're going to have it out this evening. Have not gotten time between the severe we had in Berrien. We had a cell that just started to weaken here in St. Joseph. So just now breathing for a second, and I'll have some free time here to make a forecast and get with Alex and get a map made for Sunday. So we'll get that out to you guys. We'll say probably by 7:30. Okay. What's up, Connie, Tom, Jason, Jay, Emma, Deborah, Damian, Brian? Welcome to the chat, guys. That's all I have to share with you guys. If you're just tuning in, I would highly suggest going back and rewatching what I said the first 5 minutes or so of the stream. Overall threat, I think, would be decreasing tonight, although the risk would be probably highest over there towards that yellow zone. I just don't think the arrival time of this first initial line, or should I say second line today, but the main line we're kind of watching is looking to be on the weaker side of things. It's going to arrive late. Storm fuel looks pretty low. I use the term storm fuel as a replacement for CAPE or instability, because that's what we fuel storms with. So it's just more easier and to communicate storm fuel. Think of it as gasoline. It's gasoline to a fire, at least. Trenton for Sunday, no. But for severe, if there's any severe tonight, of course we're going to be live. I don't think we've missed a severe storm in the state since last year. Don't quote me on that. We might have missed one or two, but we're always watching. This has been as we grow and following and trust here, we're going to be paying attention. We're always paying attention for you guys. So yes, if need be, we will be live. But if you don't see us go live, it's a good thing. As far as Sunday's risk, we will be live probably tomorrow to talk about that. There's still a lot of uncertainty here, and models are still rolling in for this afternoon. So we're going to have more data to look at and go off of here. So we'll have a forecast out. We'll put a deadline out there for 8 p.m. As long as nothing severe goes in the state, I'll have time to make this forecast for you guys. So deadline is due at 8. You guys can keep track. Jessica, yes, I do believe Sunday's risk would be a little bit more concerning. But again, there's still a lot of uncertainty in regards to, again, storm fuel. A lot of models are kind of split, whether it's north here in Michigan or south here in Indiana, Ohio, and Illinois. That's going to be the main question. Otherwise, wind shear looks good. We're going to have that source of lift. We're just going to be kind of keeping an eye on things with storm fuel. Yes, there is an SPC risk for Sunday. It's a marginal level 1 risk, and it goes up to 96 or so. Grand Rapids, Lansing, Flint, Detroit, Ann Arbor, Kalamazoo, those areas. It is a risk there. I think it's well placed as well. We're probably going to pretty much match that with our forecast that we're going to put out tonight. But we're going to also might highlight an area of more concern to kind of watch further south as well. So we will dive in to models here after I'm off and go from there. Trenton, we are going to watch storms as they develop out to our west, Wisconsin, Iowa, Illinois. We always watch. We're more so ready to go. Usually what happens is when we have storms approaching or the day before, so we'll set up a stream to get connected to, everything up and running. So all you gotta do is click a button, we're live. So we usually do that once we have storms approaching. Like today in Berrien County, we saw a storm that was crossing Lake Michigan. So what I did was create a stream, set all the radars up, everything was running good to go. So that's what we usually do when we expect storms. So we'll probably do similar tonight. Actually, we already have done in preparation. So we're ready. We're going to watch. SPC updates for today at 9 p.m. for one final time. And then the day 2, which would be Sunday, will come out at 2 a.m. tonight, which our members may have a watch party. No promises yet. I got to get with Joel, perhaps Drew and Ben, or whoever else would be interested. But our members may get a watch party for that tonight. But again, don't quote us. This map is for Sunday. This is going to be for today right here. There is nothing on live radar to show you guys. Just a little bit of a shower activity going on. There's nothing in Michigan right now to be concerned about. But I actually do have my other radar pulled in here, so I can actually show you guys what's happening out to our west. Pull it in here real quick. There we go. This is Illinois right now. Just started to pop up here. It's going to push our way. So these are developing. We'll see what happens though. The models today have been trash. So we'll watch this line as it pushes. But right now it does arrive a little bit later this evening. So likely going to be unfavorable timing for severe, but still would be a little concern for the West Michigan 131 corridor. Ingham County, I would say your severe risk is quite low tonight. I do think majority of us here in South Central Michigan have a thunderstorm chance, but as far as severe thunderstorms, I don't think it's particularly high for Ingham County there. I think it's highest off to the west. What's up, Lynn? It's really hard to pinpoint timeframes for tonight. So the reason being is, again, models are trash. Although I will say that they are in good agreement that the line arrives after 9 p.m., perhaps closer to 10 or 11. That's the only real connection that we have between models. But looking at the radar currently of what's formed in Illinois, it may arrive early if these hold together. So again, models are trash today. We can't go too heavily in them, but expect that risk to ramp up if there's going to be a risk after 10 p.m. And then additional development that shouldn't be too severe or too worrisome in nature could be possible overnight into tomorrow morning. Okay, see, I'm going to answer some bulk questions here. Montcalm County, Grand Rapids. Let's see. Keep an eye out because of Grand Rapids, Montcalm County, Kalamazoo, Van Buren, Berrien, Calhoun, Barry. All you guys would be in the concern tonight. Although I do think that the risk overall is lowering because you're not going to have enough storm fuel to fuel these storms to be severe. But if there's going to be severe, it will likely be over toward you guys. After 10 p.m., could be a little bit later, a little bit earlier. But yes, all those places I just listed, that would be the most concerning areas. Okay. A few other areas I'm seeing asked here. Livingston County. I see Flint, Mecosta. I see 3. Those areas would be least concerning, but still could have some thunderstorms overnight tonight. Okay. Try to bulk answer these to get you guys, all up to speed here. We kind of shied away from doing like specific locations because of the maps we share and stuff like that. We try to stay away from that, but when you guys are, starting to ask these questions and not much else to talk about, I can bulk answer these. But again, refer to the maps there and ask only if you don't know how to read those maps, then we can answer you. Do you expect the marginal risk to shift slightly to the east? It's possible, Raymond. I don't think it's going to happen, though, just given storm fuel looks pretty low tonight. Jackson, severe risk, low for tonight. Thunderstorm risk would be there. I just don't think it's going to make it that far to you in terms of severity. All right, guys, I'm going to hop off here pretty soon, get a head start on Sunday's forecast. We've been getting bombarded by comments, questions here in the live streams on the page, messages about Sunday. So I know it's anticipated, but we're never going to put a forecast out unless we're confident. That's something you got to know about us. We're not going to put, a forecast calling for tornadoes 3 days in advance if our confidence is at 10%. Like, that's just not who we are. So we're in the day 2, day 3 time frame, so we're going to get a forecast out. It may not be as detailed as you guys may want it, but I know it'll answer a lot of your guys' questions who are curious about Sunday. So with that being said, I'm going to pop off here. If anything else goes severe between now and the expected arrival of this line, we'll go live again. But overall, regardless of any severe storms, we'll be live and expect updates on Sunday by 8 p.m. Just give us some time to make maps, write a forecast out. It is time consuming. So bear with us. We got you guys covered. And we'll likely see you guys, if not tonight, tomorrow morning for a briefing. And if you're a member or a subscriber to our Facebook, Patreon, or member of YouTube, we may discuss doing a watch party for the SPC as well as models for Sunday if we're not covering severe storms in the state at 2 a.m. So with that being said, we'll let you guys know what's happening. That's all I got. So hit the like button on your way out. We'll see you guys tonight or tomorrow.